a rich kid or a bad kid, because he eats a tub full of burgers every meal. The little dog on the other side of the street is amazed. At first, he was just a cute little boy, living with his siblings in an abandoned warehouse. His unique coat, he was destined for an extraordinary life. Then, one day, animal control broke into the warehouse. They took the mother dog and her puppies away in a box. The little red dog hid under a blanket and escaped death. When he found out that all his relatives had been taken away, he ran out to catch up with them, but he was a step too late. He was left alone in the warehouse. He lies on the floor howling with sadness and missing his family. But fortunately for him, there was no way out. The door is jammed with debris. It wasn't completely shut. The little red dog crawled out through the gap. It was his first time out in the world. He scurries around on the road, dodging cars. He finally made it to the park without any danger. Then he found a biscuit on the ground. He picked it up when the pigeon wasn't looking. He was so hungry that he couldn't help it. But the pigeon wasn't about to give up this tasty treat either. After a scramble, the little red dog couldn't get the biscuit. He barks in anger and lashes out at the pigeons. When the man in the hat sees his cute face, he greeted the dog on a nearby lounger. He took him in his arms and gave him a kiss. And so he took him home. The fate of the little red dog is about to change. The man in the hat has adopted all kinds of small animals from his home. They were waiting for someone to adopt them. And this little girl spotted the unique little red dog right away.
You're just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
The little red dog loved her too. He jumped up and down in her arms. But the girl's uncle is against her having a dog. He gave the dog back to the man in the hat. The girl has to leave sadly. When she returns home, she finds a movement in her backpack. She opens it and sees that it is the little red dog. She doesn't know how he got in, but she was so happy. She named him Biscuit. The dog wagged his head at the girl. He soon showed off his housebreaking skills. He chewed on his slippers and ran out. My uncle saw him and said no. He said he would send him away the next day. At night, the girl took the dog under the covers. Looking at this cute little fellow, she couldn't help but shed a tear. The man in the hat downstairs saw her. He cast a spell on the girl's tears. The next day the girl opened her eyes. She saw a huge dog's head. The dog had grown as big as a They find the man with the hat in the park by the river. The girl hopes that he will change the dog back, so that no one will ever think of him again. But the man in the hat said, "It is your love that makes her so strong. No one can take her away." Soon the crowd of onlookers grew. At that moment the dog barked out of fear. The crowd immediately became frightened. But what the girl said next silenced the crowd.
Someone once told me it's the people who are unique. They're the ones who change the world. If Clifford was just a regular dog, we wouldn't all be here. It's not right to take him away just because he's big and red. So please let me keep my dog.
The girl's speech won the approval of everyone. Only the bad boss spoke out against it, still with his clumsy lies, saying that he would take the dog back to the company. For such a man full of lies, the man in the hat simply cast a spell and put his company out of business where it stood. The dog stayed with the girl, as he had hoped, and lived happily